What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the Film Bros podcast. What's going on, everybody? Believe when you guys are going to hear this is the beginning of the week, so happy beginning of the week. We're just here. We're in a good mood. Aren't we in a good mood today, Josh?
Yeah, chilling out.
Yeah, we are in a very, very vibey mood. So let's go ahead and just get started on what's happening out there in the world right now.
Wait, but before we get into the news, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by ZippyStream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at FilmBros Podcast, we absolutely love using ZippyStream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. ZippyStream will help you find and manage a relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at ZippyStream right away. Now back to the pod. And as of right now, it sounds like we could be potentially getting a Hulk movie and or series and a Namor presentation and or series for Disney Plus. But at what cost, you may ask? Well, it sounds like Disney has been striking or has been rumored to be doing a deal with Comcast to sell Hulu to Universal in exchange for the rights for Namor and Hulk to be solely back to Marvel and able to go ahead and make movies. Because, little backstory for people that don't know, real quick, Marvel at one point in the early 2000s was so poor that what they had to do was sell their properties. What they do, they sold the rights to Spider-Man to Sony, X-Men and all their villains to Fox. And Hulk and Namor's distribution rights go to Universal. Now, their situation is a little bit different because it's not like they have sole custody, because as you guys seen, the Hulk was able to be within the movies of the Avengers. Now, Disney is able to make Hulk movies, but the problem is the distributor would be Universal. So that means that Universal will take all the profits, take a good chunk of money, and Disney would be left with nothing. So what does Disney do? Put them in ensembles to make sure that it's not a him movie, and they're able to get away with it and be able to sell money, tickets, whatever.
Real loophole shit.
Yeah, loophole in it. But now it sounds like they're going to go all in. Now, see, we were talking a couple weeks ago and a few podcasts ago that, how Hulu is a good place for Disney to put that mature content, be able to give us the best of both worlds, be happy on one end, and then, give us those hard-hitting documentary series, whatever, on Hulu. But it sounds like now that Iger's back in town, that's not what they're going for, that they want to stick to that Disney brand and keep it more childlike. Maybe they see Hulu as dead weight, but I thought that was a perfect platform to go ahead and put Deadpool. I know they eventually put it on Disney Plus, but put Deadpool on there, put Prey, put a bunch of movies on Hulu that aren't necessarily children friendly because of all that backlash. So I don't know. What you're hearing the story? What do you think?
Well, I think a Hulk presentation and Namor presentation sound pretty dope, actually, because I want to see more Namor. That's all I care about. As for Hulk, he can really come and go. I don't really vibe with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But selling Hulu just sounds wrong. It sounds weird. Maybe if it's to get the rights, then sure. At least then Marvel gains something, but it feels weird because they do have all that mature stuff, Prey and whatnot. If that's the case, they should just start moving it to Disney Plus. It doesn't make sense to hold them there, and then you're gonna still have to pay to keep it on Hulu. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I think what they've been doing with it, because I thought a long time ago they were gonna cut Hulu as dead weight. You know what I mean? I thought they were just gonna be like, hey, we can move a bunch of movies from there onto Disney Plus, and if we want to make it more mature, they'll put a little pocket on Disney Plus saying like, here's the mature content or whatever, and blah blah blah. But then Iger seemed to make it look like he just wanted to make Disney family friendly and keep all the mature content on Hulu. Like I said, it sounded like a good thing. That sounds like a perfect way to, to keep business going from both fronts. Because, I mean, you got 20th Century Fox. Now, if you're not going to be having a spot to put those movies that are more mature because you don't want them on the Disney Plus app, it just creates a pickle. I mean, unless they got a plan for this, I mean, maybe there's a plan behind the scenes that we don't know about that is brewing. But as of right now, I say that this is kind of a dumb call. I mean, maybe it is worth it to get the rights back for Hulk and Namor. But, bro, just buy the whole company like you did Fox.
Nah, man. I think Universal's too big. It literally stands on its own, too.
I honestly, I'm not going to lie. Universal has actually been keeping Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony, like, literally on their toes when it comes to movies.
Yeah. So they're not going to want to sell to Disney. There's no way.
Yeah, Universal's actually been getting bangers. And, I mean, now that they have Christopher Nolan over there, left Warner Brothers because of all the BS, went over there to Universal. I mean, Universal's actually, holding up. So maybe, and that's another thing, too. That's one thing that's hurting Universal is that they do not have a streaming service. They don't have one of those. Like, right now they're sharing with Peacock. They probably have a deal to stream on there, whatever, which is costing them money when they can just get Hulu and put all their Universal stuff on Hulu,
Yeah, maybe. I guess that makes sense. But, that just means that Disney's going to have to sell to hold on to their stuff unless, because you got Prey there, you got a couple other Disney things, and then you got all those Marvel shows that they say aren't connected to the MCU. Quote unquote. So like Legion and then Runaways, Cloak and Dagger if you're into that. Like there was a bunch of them, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that one's still on Hulu too. So like they're gonna have to move all those to Disney Plus at some point. Otherwise they're gonna keep paying money out of their ass to just keep it here. You know what I mean? When they could just keep it and not have to worry about all that.
Unless they think like, oh, we'll make a deal with you, we'll get the rights back, but we still want to keep our movies on the Hulu platform and we'll just pay you to keep it on there or something. Maybe that's something they could do. But then we'll lose our bundle, our Hulu Disney bundle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, damn. That does suck.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I mean, does it sound like a fair trade opposed to, I'm sure Disney's sitting back right now and just like having those intrusive thoughts to just buy the whole company, but they're just like, no, whoa. We'll just sell them Hulu, have a fair trade. There's no need for us to go ahead and have a hostile takeover. You know what I mean?
I think selling buying the whole company is like, it's a very like aggressive move. You know what I mean? Like they did it to Fox, and then
Lucasfilm, Fox, Pixar. Bob Iger was like Thanos of just acquiring shit, bro. Like from the time that he was running Disney, like he acquired, like I said, Pixar. He went ahead and got Lucasfilm, and then right at the tail end of his time, not only launched Disney Plus, but bought 20th Century Fox.
I think to buy a whole company for rights sounds a little weird, though. I know that's what they did for Wolverine and Fox and all that, but what Fox has also were sports channels. They had all those sports channels, new stuff, and then they had big IPs like Simpsons and then all those other things. So, I mean, Fox made sense because not only are you just getting the X-Men back, Fantastic Four and all of them, but you're getting those channels and whatever else. So, I mean, it was smart for that. But to want to buy Universal entirely for 2 character rights, I don't think it's going to work out.
I mean, kind of. I mean, then they'll dominate the theme park market. Because to be honest, Universal is dominating the theme park market. And now they're coming for their necks in the movie market too. Universal's always been there. But Universal's been kind of doing these movies, you know, like Cocaine Bear, Violent Night, like these movies that are Ready or Not, like these movies that are left field that are really like being greenlit anywhere else, like at Warner Brothers or anything like that, and they're actually being well made. Universal's giving them a run for their money. Universal is like doing what they got to do. So I mean, if this is something that they have to do in order to obtain a streaming service, I mean, this is probably sounds like a fair trade for everybody. I mean, I don't know if it's cheaper to trade or cheaper to just create their own or whatever, but then, you know, then they got the conflict of copying and trying to make themselves unique or whatever, blah, 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 when they can get something pre-built that is unique, you know? Yeah. I don't know. So good deal, bad deal? What? I can't even tell you. Like, it sounds like a good deal, but at the same time, it sounds like a loss too.
Yeah. To want to get rid of Hulu for 2 character rights doesn't sound very smart, I think.
No?
No.
We'll see. But with the same news that came out right there, same spot at Hulu, series that was potentially going to be in the work, Devil in the White City. Martin Scorsese was supposed to produce, Leonardo DiCaprio, Keanu Reeves was supposed to star in it, and it was supposed to be directed by, what's his name? Todd Field. So it was supposed to be this epic story. Like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio attached as a producer, Martin Scorsese, a couple others. This was supposed to be a movie. Now this show was in limbo for a long time. It was greenlit, I believe, back in October of 2019. All right, then COVID hit. Nothing moved forward. But then, you know, the wheels started turning again, I believe, back in 2021. And then now we're hearing word that it's just not going to happen after all.
Damn.
So this has been in development hell. Kind of sucks. But, I mean, I know you probably never heard of this. It's a book. It's a novel. I know you probably never heard of this, but
no.
Would you have liked to see, at least with the elements that I told you, you know, producer Martin Scorsese, but, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio up in there, Keanu Reeves as a lead star in this, and Todd Field as a director? I don't know. It sounded like something was going to be magical.
It would have been really good to see, but I mean, I feel like once something like that gets stuck in limbo, it's more than likely never going to be big.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so this show would tell the story of Daniel H. Berman, a demanding but visionary architect who races to make his mark on history with the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, and Dr. H. Holmes, America's first modern serial killer, and the man behind the notorious murder castle built in the fair's shadow. And Reeves was supposed to play Burnham. Oh, wow. He was supposed to play the serial killer.
Oh, shit.
Crazy. Damn. Keanu Reeves as a serial killer?
Sounds pretty good.
That would have sounded crazy. Yeah. Sucks that that's something that's not coming into fruition. The story sounded pretty good. It's a murder mystery. I mean, sounds like something that would have been... Keanu Reeves kind of just goes up there and acts like Keanu Reeves. So seeing Keanu Reeves become a serial killer might have been cool.
Keanu Reeves acts like Keanu Reeves? What do you mean by that?
Like, I mean, I like his acting. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying, like, he's kind of like Dwayne Johnson when it comes to roles. Like, he basically is playing the same person over and over with a slow talking. You know, it's just him. It's just Keanu in front of a camera being Keanu.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
No, you don't agree?
He's had a lot of good roles. What's that one? Knock Knock or whatever. The one where he gets held captive by 2 chicks. He does really good in that one.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, like I said, he's still acting. He still, you know, he still acts scared. He still does, like, he really did a good job with that role. But, like, you can't tell me that you've seen The Matrix. That, let's say, like, The Matrix, the new one, the new one that recently came out.
We don't talk about that one.
Exactly. But still, and you don't see John Wick and be like, in a way, they kind of act a little similar.
Nah.
No, I feel like
No.
Keanu just always acts and looks, and I'm not. This is not even to roast him. It's just to like a playful little jab. Is like he looks like he just shows up on set and is like, all right,
Let's roll.
I'm here to play me right now. I don't know, man. You don't agree? You don't think so?
No,
You don't see what I see?
No.
I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, so missing out on the devil with the the devil in the white city. Kind of sounds like we kind of lost, but at the same time, I mean, it's been in development hell, so it's good that, you know, somebody took him out like Old Yeller and just got rid of it.
Yeah.
So, well, Mercy's not better?
Like that?
Mercy's not better?
It is, but damn.
A little dark?
Yeah.
It's all right. Moving on. Michael B. Jordan. I wanted to talk to you about this because I know you're an anime fan.
Yeah.
Not really me. So, I mean, I noticed, because I've seen, obviously, trailers and I've seen certain animes and everything. I noticed in the movie, because I've seen in an interview before that he kind of said that it was kind of influenced a few things.
Yeah.
So, you could kind of tell a little bit. He kind of went ahead, too, and listed off 5 of his top animes and what he basically, and we watched the movie, guys, so, and what he basically put within the movie from the series that he basically picked.
Yeah. So wait, I'm gonna try and guess. Tell me if I miss any. Okay.
Okay, top 5, right?
He said Megalo Boxing, Dragon Ball. Shit, I'm drawing a blank, but I know that's 2 of them, right?
Dragon Ball's 1.
Yeah.
Not that one. He said Hunter x Hunter,
Okay,
Bleach,
that makes sense.
Naruto,
Okay,
Dragon Ball,
Naruto makes
and One Piece.
I think I saw Naruto elements in there too.
Yeah, One Piece. Maybe he could have added a little bit more, but those were not only the ones that he put into the movie, but those were also his top 5 that he, I guess, says is the best ones to start watching if you haven't been introduced to anime. Could you agree with that?
One Piece is too long. I mean, I hear the story is good, but I think the story is too damn long. Dragon Ball is good. If you start from don't start from Dragon Ball, start from Dragon Ball Z. It could be good because I don't think anyone really cares for the original series anymore. And then Naruto is good. Skip the filler. Hunter x Hunter is really good. But the last season, or I guess not last season, but the last arc, that one's kind of slow. The Chimera arc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, they're good animes. Really good selection. Can't knock them for that.
Okay, all right. So you agree? I mean, me, like I said, I haven't seen anime. I think I've only seen one. I can't even remember. I think you told me the name of it the last time, and it's just like my mind. I'm not a big anime fan. I tried. It's just the animation style. I can't do it. It's hard. I don't know. Am I tripping?
Maybe you just need to be introduced to the right one. I think because some of them are kind of like childish and whatnot. I think the one I want to show you, I think you might like, just because it does have that gore like element. It's the Attack on Titan. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of that one.
Okay, yeah. I want to try and show you that one.
Okay, well, maybe one of these. I heard there's a bunch of episodes though. Isn't it
dude.
like a episode 1,000 or something?
No. That's One Piece, dude. The thing about Attack on Titan is it has 3 seasons, and what the studio is basically doing is they're trying to stretch out the season finale or the series finale. So like they just dropped season 4 or 3, and then we're like part 1, and then that just dropped, so they're waiting another 6 months for part 2. So they're really trying to stretch out the ending for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. That's what anime does. Stretches out whatever they get. I don't know if you heard over the weekend. I mean, since we're on the topic of anime anyways, I don't know if you heard over the weekend, but that apparently Demon Slayer came out in movie theaters, and they played the last 2 episodes of the season finale from last season and put only a half an hour of new material from season 3 that you're going to see on Hulu when it releases anyways.
I hear the the Demon Slayer and manga. It's short. It's short in terms of manga, so it's not. There's not a lot of material. So I doubt they're gonna stretch it out like that. So maybe this season will just end up being short. But they better pour hella money into it then, because the fight scene is going hard.
Did I tell you I seen Demon Slayer in theaters?
Yes, I think you did.
I seen one a couple months ago, or a few last year probably, and that one actually looked not that bad, especially with some of the cinematic scenes. Not that bad. But yeah, so Creed 3 drew inspiration from boxing, but during Creed 3, the person that was missing within there was Sylvester Stallone. Now, I had asked you, since you watched it, I personally have not seen the second one. I've seen the first one. The first Creed is pretty good, but I did ask you. I'm gonna ask you again, just to have it on record. Did you feel any? Because I was hearing some people saying that they felt an absence from Stallone in this movie. Did you feel that way? Did you feel like there needed to be at least a cameo of Stallone?
No, not really. I mean, at the heart of these movies, Rocky and Apollo, their story and stuff. But this isn't. While he's in it for the first two, like I told you before, the second movie wraps it up pretty well for him. So like, there's no real need for him to keep going. If he were to show up in 3, or if they talk about 4 and he shows up in 4, then cool. But they wrapped him up like a bow perfectly in the second movie that I hope you see at one point. And then he wasn't missing. It would have been nice to see him and acknowledge where he was or whatever, because it's like 7 years after the second one or whatever. So like, sure, mention him, but this movie did perfectly fine without him, I think.
Well, maybe this will give a little bit of a different perspective. So, like I said, I watched the first one. It's been a while since I've seen the first one, but I've seen the first one. The second one I didn't get around to. But this third one I was watching, and this is from somebody who hasn't seen that much of Stallone in these Creed movies, because I haven't seen these Creed movies. But watching Creed 3, I think that movie didn't really need anybody else. Like I told you, if they felt like they needed to put Stallone in there, a phone call to him would have sufficed or something, you know what I mean? And that could have probably satisfied some people.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really see a need for him within the movie, if that makes sense. At least from somebody who wasn't expecting him or wanted him there, I guess you could say. So, because I was just there to see Killmonger and, Kang fight. But one thing that kept them from this movie, and we kind of touched up on it on on one of the last episodes. I wanted the full facts before I spoke up about it.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons that Stallone said that he wasn't in Creed 3 when his absence was first announced was that he didn't like the direction that Creed was going. So he didn't want to be in the movie because he didn't know where he didn't like the direction. But it turns out that that's not the only reason. It's also because of the longtime franchise producer, Irwin Winkler. So if you don't know, when Sylvester Stallone first got on the scene of Hollywood, Rocky was his first movie. Nobody wanted to take a chance on him. He was basically unhireable. Mm-hmm. He pitched this movie, or he got pitched this movie of a boxing Rocky, which it was. Now, according to him, the script was shit. Okay, according to him, it was in bad shape. Nobody wanted to make the movie, so he took it upon himself. Wound up fixing it up. Went to the producer, which was Irwin Winkler at the time. He wound up funding the money, backing up the script, put him in there, but the sole rights to the film franchise went to Irwin Winkler, the producer.
Yeah.
So it didn't sit right with Stallone because he felt like he did most of the work and, all that stuff. Now, like I said, I wasn't there. Maybe there's some things that aren't brought to light, but from the facts that we have, I think Stallone's acting like a baby. Now, I understand his POV. He did say in an interview that this Rocky franchise is something that he wanted to give to his children as like, oh, here you go, now you're set kind of thing. Here's this franchise. This franchise is always going to make money. You're always going to have money. You're set. I get that. But he's made so much more movies that he could have probably made something better. Now, granted, he wasn't in the best particular position to, negotiate when he was hired for Rocky, and that's why they were able to take advantage of him and give him a bullshit ass contract. But those are the ropes of the trade in the beginning. You know what I mean? You're a grunt. You're gonna have to go through the dirt.
Yeah.
Do I think it's kind of dickish for Irwin Winkler to not at least be like, oh, we can be co-owners or something?
Yeah.
At the same time, he was already an established producer who was taking the risk. You know what I mean? So big risk means big reward, in my opinion. But you're hearing the facts. You heard the story. What do you think about Stallone not coming back for Creed 3?
I think, okay, yeah. He was obviously being a baby about it. It's just, like, because I seen the interview. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a clip floating around where he says he'll never watch Creed 3.
Yeah, I seen that one.
So I was like, okay, that's kind of, is it because he's not in it? Is he pulling like an Arnold when he wasn't in the Salvation or whatever? So he says he's never seen it. I doubt it, but yeah. And then, as far as like rights go, bro, like these people, some of these Hollywood people are just scums, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah.
Like the first Rocky movie came out in '76. I just looked it up. And like, if he was hungry and stuff, like ready to go, trying to get his foot in the door, he's gonna take any deal that will get him off his feet and whatnot. Granted, he should have at some point been like, hey, like I pushed out 6 movies, I want my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if it's barely coming to surface now that the rights are stopping him, he should have easily been like, okay, at some point before it just been like, all right, I want this shit back. You know what I mean?
Well, that was my thing too, is that why didn't he make this fight sooner? And if he's been fighting for it, why not take it through before the Creed movies were even made? Maybe
Exactly.
this is dated before my time. Maybe there's information out there that's, that I missed that came to light before. But from what I know, he hasn't brought anything up. He didn't say anything about it. So maybe if things were happening behind closed doors and it was always a no, but he never brought it up to light. Like, he had all this time to do it. Now that it's coming towards the end, and kind of like a procrastination, kind of mindset. Like, oh, now we're on the third one. Now I feel like I have the position to negotiate. No, you should have probably done that a while ago,
Exactly. The first Rocky came out in '76. The last Rocky movie, Rocky 6, Rocky Balboa, that came out in '06. So 2 decades to fight for the rights. Is my math right?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. So like roughly 20 years or so, he should have been fighting for those rights a long time ago.
That's 30 years. He had 30 years to fight for the rights.
Yeah, see?
If it was between 76 and 06, yeah, that's 30 years.
Yeah, see? And then Creed, the first Creed came out
in 08?
Yeah. So, I mean, really, no, 2015.
2015? Oh.
See, so, like, even more time to fight for that. You know what I mean? There's no way that he just decided now that to start complaining about him when he had all this time.
Well, seeing that Creed is coming back as a big franchise probably made him change his tune. He probably, you know what, maybe he thought, because, let's be honest, Rocky 1, pretty good. Rocky 2, pretty good. I'm trying to remember, because there's so many of them. I'm trying to remember all of them. Rocky 2 was with which one?
He fights Apollo.
Yeah, that one was good. Yeah, that was good. Kind of. Rocky 3, that one was kind of beh. Rocky.
What?
Okay, it was okay, but it wasn't the best, in my opinion.
No, that one's the best one.
You think so? Okay, Rocky 4?
One of the best ones.
Is that the one with the Russian?
Yes.
Debatable. Rocky 5.
Rocky 5 is garbage.
Yeah, okay. Rocky 6? Trash?
Yeah, kind of trash.
Okay. So, he probably thought the last ones were probably doing terrible, not that very good. Probably thought, oh, they're probably not going to get this franchise off the ground. whatever. When it finally came up off the ground, and he probably thought, oh, well, this probably not gonna make a lot of money, and now that it's making a lot of money, maybe he wants his fair share now.
Maybe, yeah. But for him to be the way he is about Creed, I don't know why or what direction he's talking about. Because I mean, maybe it's because Coogler took the reins and then dropped them, and now it's Michael B. Jordan's vision and stuff, and that's why he was able to have so much fun with it. That's maybe why he's all of a sudden crying about his role in it and everything. But like I said, in Creed 2, they wrap him up in a bow. If they decide to make more Creed movies, I could totally be fine without seeing them before.
Yeah, I kind of liked in the beginning. It was kind of heartfelt in the beginning because when it was first announced, it was the creative differences, and he basically said like he wanted Creed to stand on his own 2 feet. You know what I mean? Without having a Rocky Balboa to have a crutch on, which, let's be honest, in Creed 1, Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone was the crutch. But in the second one, it showed that, he was there, but that he wasn't necessary. Creed was still pulling in numbers. By this one, I mean, he says he's still friends with Michael B. Jordan, so I'm not saying that it's a, creative dispute or, they probably have a spat behind the scenes because they seem cool up front, at least.
Yeah.
So if this is all, like I said, if this is all producer related, this has to be the fault of his. He should have had this handled way long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird how this stuff plays out. And then Sylvester Stallone is just, I feel like he's trying to just all of a sudden pick it back up. But I mean, the Rambo movies made him hella money too, so I don't know why he's complaining too much. Maybe because Rocky's his baby. I don't know.
Probably because that was the first movie I think he actually lifted up to stardom. So he probably has some kind of sentimental value behind it too.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, it is what it is. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they can find a middle ground and maybe split it. Maybe the producer will, come back around one day and they'll be in a happy place. Maybe we'll see him in Creed 5. When he fights the Russian. Oh wait, he did that in Creed 2, huh?
He did.
Damn it. Moving on though, Scream 7 has been greenlit.
Oh,
before
shit.
the premiere of Scream 6. Again. So much high hopes for this movie. Okay, there was a lot of high hopes for Scream 2022.
Yeah.
Scream 6 is banking big, and there's been little reviews coming out as of lately saying, that this movie's better than 2022.
Oh,
scary. Okay,
Jesus.
Scary. So they're basically, like I said, they're basically pulling a 2022. This time they're greenlighting it to be filmed, or at least to start filming before the end of this year. So sometime, like literally, this movie could still probably be in theaters making money, and they could probably find a spot to start. I mean, Scream does not take a lot of money. These franchises do not take a lot of money, and I'm sure it's not a lot of CGI and stuff like that too, besides maybe like the stabbing, blah, 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 the blood. It doesn't take a lot of money to make these movies. If Scream 6 is getting the praise that it is now, I'm a fan of Scream. I'm a fan. I love Scream 4. Fight me. What do you call it? Like hearing this news and hearing that we're just going to be getting some steady slasher movies, I'm hyped. This is exciting.
Yeah, this is really cool stuff, actually. Can't wait to see Scream 6. But damn, Scream 7? That means we could get it early as like next year. That's crazy. Good shit though. Good shit coming from them.
They're Paramount really doing the work over there, because the same thing, they even greenlit Megan 2 really fast. I mean, they waited until that one at least premiered, but a weekend they greenlit it quick. So I mean, yeah, horror's making a comeback, y'all.
Paramount was just like, you know what? We know 6 is gonna be a banger. Give them 7. Like, damn.
I'm telling you, if they have that much faith to greenlight something before the general audience has even seen it, that got to tell you. That got to tell you how good this movie got to be. Yeah. But with that, Scream 7. Don't forget. I mean, I think you guys are gonna hear this after it already releases. But don't forget to go watch Scream. It's gonna be a good movie. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna go watch it. It's gonna be great. But what's getting killed is The Flash. Apparently, season 9 has wrapped filming. They are releasing episodes and still filming the last couple episodes, I guess, of the season. It's gonna go to production and hopefully be released by the time it's time for the last couple episodes. Got a little goodbye video from Grant Gustin himself on Instagram. I don't know if it's gonna break your heart to watch it, Josh, but I'll put it on anyways.
Last time I hung up the wrong thing on. I don't usually hang that. That usually goes in my laundry. Doesn't need to be washed now. Thanks, bud.
Wow.
And that is the last time he will wear the Flash suit, unless he gets casted in the movies. Like people want to all of a sudden. I don't know. That's weird. Season 9 coming to an end pretty soon. Honestly, the Flash series is going to wrap up in its entirety before we even get a Flash movie. Fucking crazy. But, I mean, still good. I mean, I don't know. Even though I've never seen the show, I've seen him in a bunch of Flash clips. I've seen him. So he's been kind of like that go-to Flash person when I'm, on the shitter scrolling through Facebook or, whatever, Twitter. There's random clips. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And then you have those kind of clips where it's like, this is a show, So I've seen him around. To have seen that, Instagram story, it kind of made me feel something. Not really like this immense sadness, but at the same time, it kind of seems like an end of a chapter.
Yeah, for sure. Really trying to think back on when I first started watching this show, because I didn't get to watch it when it was on the air. No cable. So I mean, when we got Netflix, it ended up on Netflix pretty quickly, I think. And then I loved the first season. Second season blew me away. And then for the third season, that's when I got the CW app. And then I started watching it weekly with ads.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't a problem, but I was getting my fix. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
Yeah. To finally see it come to an end, yeah, it does kind of bring back memories of when I first started watching it and stuff. Really weird. I mean, not weird that I dropped it. I know why I dropped it, and I don't really feel bad for that. But I think I'm going to do a rewatch just to give it that goodbye.
You're going to sit through all the seasons?
Yeah, really good.
Even with the ones with bad CGI?
Yeah.
What a trooper, guy. What a trooper. I don't know. I mean, if you guys were a fan of the Flash show, Grant Gustin taking his last walk. So, all right. On another note, I've been seeing a few clips of this last season of The Flash, and I'm just saying it's not the best bow out I've seen in my life. I think I've seen Red Death say, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
I haven't seen that.
No?
No.
And then there was also a scene where basically she made it seem like everybody just knows the history of how Bruce Wayne became Batman. She was like, my parents didn't get killed in an alley like Bruce Wayne. Or something. I'll show you the clips later, but there's clips going around, and it's just this show looks ridiculous. I think they took voice lines from Kevin Conroy and from Christian Bale, because she says, "I am the Knight, I am Batman," but she says it in a funny way. I'll show you the clips later, but yeah, season 9 to me, I mean, from the clips that I've seen, it's kind of been kind of wonky. I haven't seen anything from The Flash too much except for these clips. So if you guys are a fan, go watch it. Let me know how it is. Moving on though, Jenna Ortega moving up in the world. Wednesday season 2, she is going to start getting producer creds for her role. Now, I know what you all thinking. Well, she's just an actress. Why is she getting all this credit? Well, apparently, according to her and according to a couple of producers on the show, the writing was shit for this for the show, and apparently it didn't do it justice. But Jenna Ortega, as the improv actress herself, was able to rewrite lines, kind of add that flair to Wednesday. You know, when she did that no blinking thing,
Yeah.
made it a thing for the whole show, because I don't think she blinks throughout the whole show. I haven't seen the show, but that's what I've heard. I mean, she's getting her praises now. She even went on a podcast before and was like, she had to literally, she was looking at it and she was like, well, what the fuck is this stuff? And she just started writing. She improv'd on the days, made up her own lines sometimes. The director said that is so good, and it's crazy because if a director says that is so good, we're keeping that in the movie, and he's like, man, my shit just I need to scratch this shit off real quick. You know what I mean? Like, that says a lot. So she's getting a lot of praises, saying that she did a wonderful job as Wednesday and helped out the production. So, I mean, what do you think? You've seen the show.
Yeah, no, I saw the show. I don't know who the writers are for Wednesday. I imagine one of them is Tim Burton. So, I mean, if he has bad writing, then it is what it is. But yeah, she improvs and does a lot in the show. Like that eye thing, obviously, and then she choreographed that whole dance scene that you see floating around on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, the one that everybody does.
Yeah, she choreographed that all by herself and improvised most of it. Good shit. So, I mean, she does deserve the credit for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen it. I want to get around to it. I just thought it was cool how highly they were speaking of her within this role. So she must have really put up a performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
And being as young as she is, and coming straight off the block, and just nailing this kind of role.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be one of the greats.
Yeah, she's gonna be in Scream 6.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they're making a Scream 7 and she survives the events of Scream 6, she is gonna be one hot ticket, and she's gonna need her payout.
I'm pretty sure her and her sister are the next, like, Cindy and Gail. So I imagine they'll be in the long run for these movies for quite a bit.
That's true. Yeah. I wonder where they're going to go with number 7. Either which way. Wednesday, yeah. Jenna Ortega getting her shine on, getting her, that recognition she deserves. Who else is going to be getting some recognition is James Gunn right now, because Josh.
Bitch. Yeah. Why do you keep bringing this dude up? What is he in the news for now?
Well, the same thing that he's always in the news for. His Twitter. Come on, dude.
Jeez.
This man needs to stop. So apparently he's confirmed on Twitter not only that he's talked to Henry Cavill about a couple roles, he also went out of his way to go ahead and take shots at a scoop website called Fandom Wire.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, he went on Twitter and basically said and posted a article of Dave Bautista saying, honestly, I could give a fuck. Dave Bautista rejects joining James Gunn DCU as Bane possibility after his final movie in MCU, which Gunn said was misleading. So he basically said, honestly, I can give a fuck about being a movie star, because that's not, that Dave Bautista doesn't care about that. But, James Gunn basically had to come out and debunk it and basically say that not only did they lie in this article about what Dave Bautista said,
yeah,
but also lied that in another article that he supposedly sacked Zack Snyder. James Gunn says in this tweet, in another article, they claimed I sacked Zack Snyder, a filmmaker who hasn't worked for DC for years before I got here. So, now, these scoop sites, this ain't the first time James Gunn done this. He's called out James Randolph, Grace Randolph. He's called out Jeff Snyder at one point. He calls out a lot of people. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this?
He just needs to shut the fuck up. like, bro, come on. Just shut up. Promote your movies. You're doing so much talking to these people on the internet with your Twitter. Typing away. I haven't heard anything else about Guardians. And that drops this year. And then nothing from DC, which I know is coming whenever it comes. The Creature Commandos, whatever else. But update us on something. Don't just give these people something to strike at you with. You're literally handing them the hammer and you're the nail. You're just like, hit me with it. And then it doesn't make much sense. He needs to shut up for real.
No, yeah, no better way to put it. I think he needs to stop putting himself out there like that. I mean, there's a bunch of things that can lead back to him. Like, another thing is a few months ago when he was pleading, saying that, you know, he didn't recast Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot's not going anywhere. Shazam's not going anywhere. Blah, 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 blah. But then people just started, you know, Henry Cavill, you know, things just started rolling downhill. Now we're hearing reports that Wonder Woman will now not be in Shazam 2. Well, she will be in Shazam 2, but as a stunt double to play Gal Gadot. Now, there is rumors out there saying that she already had recorded her scenes, that her scenes are in there, but that a certain CEO pulled them out to make sure that there is no, how do you say, any remnants of the old Trinity, to basically, you know, get people's brains out of that and begin his anew. So basically a Shazam 1 Superman cameo, or a Peacemaker cameo.
He was just a chest, bro. And she was just a silhouette, bro. Man, this is blowing my vibe. This sucks, dude. This sucks. Why can't I just see Gal Gadot one more time before y'all decide to take her away? I could rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League, BVS, and her own solo movie, not the second one, her first one, over and over again. But I need more shit, better shit. Why couldn't you just leave it in there? Zaslav, Gunn, and Saffron are the banes of my existence. If I ever see them in the street, I'm putting my paws on them, because there's no way, dude. It's so annoying. I can't. Fuck. Just fuck.
So, I mean, same, but for different reasons. I think one thing for me, if Gal Gadot really did film her scenes and, you know, they're cutting them out just to put this replacement to leave no remnants of her, I think that's fucked. Like I said, it's all rumors. We don't know. We're just talking on speculation.
I can sue for that.
You could. And they decided to put fake Gal Gadot in there because where we're getting all this from is from her stunt double, Taylor Cahill. She basically said that she'll be playing fake Wonder Woman now, and people pieced it together saying that, you know, Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL's theme will be in Shazam for fake Wonder Woman, quote unquote. They don't know if it's a gag, if it's the actual thing. Obviously, nobody has actually seen the movie except for test screeners, and leaks should be coming out soon, but as of right now, it's still kind of, you know, up in the air. But this has to be coming from screeners as well as stunt people. It just depends. But like I said, all rumors, all speculation. We're just talking on speculation. Take it with a grain of salt. It sucks if this is the case, that they cut out her scenes and she's just being played as a fake person. Because, yes, why can't we see her one more time like we kind of saw Henry Cavill, and how we're going to kind of see Batfleck in The Flash? I know that they all make a cameo in there within the Speed Force whenever, you know, he's probably going to do his thing and what in The Flash. But it would have been nice to see her in Shazam. This was kind of hyped up for a while. It was kind of a rumor for the longest, kind of confirmed by a trailer up until recently. I don't know. Things are shifting.
This is dumb, dude. The whole movie is based around Greek mythology and, like, the daughters of Atlas, and, you know, Shazam's powers are Greek. Who else but Diana could be there to help Billy, bro? Come on. Fuck. I can't get behind what's happening. I can't. They want to course correct midway. They want to do all this shit just so they can make way for James Gunn's stupid fucking universe. This is ridiculous. No. Fuck DC, dude.
But I mean, if we get a coherent DC, wouldn't that make you happy?
No. We had that. And now it's a mess. We can make way for this dude and his characters no one fucking knows.
I mean, let's keep it a bug. It was already a mess before. I mean, I'm not saying it was a certain filmmaker's mess in the first place. I'm saying it has to do with a certain producer and, head of DC at the time. But these are just repercussions. And the thing is that they want to make money off these movies. They want to bank on it. They want to hope for more.
They want to rip the good shit out of it.
Exactly. They're taking out all the good stuff, and they're, trying to make way for something new without giving that closure to the rest of the fans, like yourself, who feels so strongly about it. But we're just going to have to wait and see if this is true. I mean, we still got time to the movie. Maybe they hear this uproar, and if, like I said, if it's just scene swapping, that's a different story. But if they hear all this and they're just like, oh, it's actually, we never hired her, like this was actually going to be it, then they're kind of fucked, and they're going to be the bad guys regardless. Either they heard everybody and refused to change it, or they completely didn't even hire Gal Gadot and there was no way to change it. So lose for them. We'll have to wait and see what happens, I guess, with that one. James Gunn and DC Studios strikes again. Right?
Yeah.
Featuring David F. Sandberg and Shazam 2.
Damn, bro.
You know who else is going to make a fascinating little return? But for reals this time, John Berthel for Daredevil Born Again.
I saw this.
It's going to be great.
Good shit.
Wound up putting a little teaser picture on his Instagram, confirming it as well. A picture of his old self as the Punisher. All great, all fine, all dandy, but the two people that we are not getting back is Deborah Ann Woll as Karen Page and Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson. Still no word. Apparently they're not coming back, as the word has it. We got somebody great back, but at what cost? What cost? W or L?
I can't even pick a fandom. I can't, because DC used to be my guy, and then he switched up on me. And then Marvel, I love the Punisher. I loved his show. I love seeing him in Daredevil season 2. I love that he's coming back. But how do you get rid of Karen and Foggy, bro? Who's gonna play that? Who's gonna play Foggy? That's my thing. Because he was a good dude. He was a good Foggy. And if they don't even involve him at all, what is Matt Murdock going to do? Where's he going to work at? He works at Nelson and Murdock. Is it just going to be Murdock, attorney at law? That doesn't make no sense, bro.
That's my thing. Is it that they're going to be recasted, or are they just not going to show up?
If they don't show up at all,
that'll be a problem.
Disney has another problem on their hands.
If they recast, it's a problem.
It'll be a problem, but it won't be as big as a problem as not having him there at all.
That's true. 18 episodes, bro. 18 episodes. They have to be able to include Karen and Foggy. There's no way.
Exactly. They should just bring him back, bro. There's no way.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I think to be fair, I think John Berthel and Karen Page's scenes in Daredevil season 2 and in The Punisher, that I kind of felt like they hit hard. Foggy and Charlie Cox's Daredevil, them two really cemented that they had a friendship. Just how D'Onofrio is Kingpin and Cox is Daredevil. I mean, you could argue that they can be interchangeable, but for what they brought to the table, their dynamic was great, and I kind of feel like we're gonna miss out on that on the Daredevil series if they don't have that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless they can find somebody better. I don't know if you can find people better to play Foggy and Karen. It'll be an adjustment period, but I don't know, man.
Pray for those people. Pray for the people that they gotta follow in their footsteps, because The MCU don't play. The MCU fans don't play. I know that.
They don't play.
They don't play.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, very good, because apparently we're gonna get a prequel to the Daredevil series that's gonna feature John Berthol's the Punisher, Daredevil, Kingpin, potentially a few others. We don't know who yet, but apparently the Echo series is gonna have Daredevil and Wilson Fisk as key figures in the future. So this show is basically gonna be setting them up for Daredevil Born Again. This is an interlude into Daredevil Born Again. Well, I even said in my head too, I was like, why are they making an Echo show? Like, what's the point of this? Who even asked for an Echo show? Who asked for an Agatha Harkness show? Nobody. But it sounds like the Echo show is shaping up to just be a prequel.
I'm sure that'll piss somebody off.
It's going to piss you off?
No.
You want Echo?
I mean, her character was nice in the Hawkeye show, but dedicating a whole show to her sounds kind of weird. And I know if they decide to sideline her and, you know, make them the focus, someone out there is going to be like, oh, why the fuck you do that to this female lead and whatnot? So it is what it is. But, I mean, cool. Set them up just fine. Hopefully everything turns out fine in that. Oh, man. I can't even think of a future where they fuck up so bad.
Disney's going to fuck up. I'm calling it now. Disney's going to fuck up on Daredevil Born Again. It's not going to be the same. And I know we don't expect the same product. It's not going to be the same. It's Disney making it. Blah, 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 whatever. I don't give a shit. Netflix Daredevil, bro, is the best Marvel content that was ever put out there. I do not care. On par with Infinity War, and it had half the damn budget. Those hallway fight scenes, iconic. That jailhouse scene with the Punisher, iconic. Okay. Iron Fist, we don't talk about that. Luke Cage, that was a good show, but Netflix's Daredevil was top peak.
Yeah.
Peak.
So
it was great. It has a lot on its plate, and there's a lot to live up to from Daredevil Born Again. And hearing these little things that are happening, I mean, 18 episodes is a long season as it is. So what, are we going to get 30-minute episodes? Are we going to get filler episodes? Are we going to fucking get, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's just, it's so uncertain and it's scary. And it's just like, man, if I'm already 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Marvel. They fuck up Daredevil. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm tired.
Yeah. Makes sense. Because, I mean, I liked him in She-Hulk, but that wasn't his show. You know what I mean? Like, it was nice to see him. He smashed She-Hulk, and then left.
Yeah, he got it.
And then, like, you know, which is fine.
Did the walk of shame.
Yeah, which is fine and dandy, but, like, I don't know, bro. Eventually, they're going to have to stand on their own without all that. And under Disney's rule, I don't know if they can do that.
I don't know, man. We're going to have to wait and see. But there was a slew of things coming from Disney's side yesterday for a few reasons, or actually for one big reason. I'll let you guys know why. But moving on to Lucasfilm, Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie have been canceled. So Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, Kevin Feige's movie has been officially canceled. Not gonna be happening. W? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know if Kevin Feige would have produced a good Star Wars movie. I don't. From what I'm seeing with Marvel now, I mean, what I seen in the beginning with Marvel, probably, if you would have asked me that a few years ago, I would have been like, hell yeah, give them a Star Wars property. As of now, probably hold back on that Star Wars property. So I'm good with that one. After seeing, like I said, same thing though. If hot off the heels, you would have been like, hey, Rogue Squadron coming in from Patty Jenkins, hot off the heels of Wonder Woman 1, I would have been like, hell yeah, bro. Let her do that shit. I'm 100%. Then 98 came out. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if she could do that shit because hers is kind of worse because it kind of felt like the first one was heavily influenced by Zack Snyder. So
Yeah.
I don't know if like that most of that was her idea, his idea. I don't know. That whole third act was kind of weird. I don't know whose was in the right, who's in the wrong, but on that one. But from the facts that we got, Wonder Woman 1 was good. 98 was bad. That kind of put me a bad taste in my mouth for Rogue Squadron when I had heard about it. I don't know, man. What are you thinking about this?
I just want a Star Wars movie. Man. I kind of like the idea of Rogue Squadron, but damn, I want to know why. I wish they could tell us why they canceled these sort of things. I know they don't for confidentiality and whatnot, but I would like to know. And then I don't think Kevin Feige could have produced a good one. He probably would have wanted it to turn into this whole thing, and then, eventually I think he would have ended up clashing with not Kevin, but
Kathleen Kennedy.
not Kathleen Kennedy, John Favreau and Dave Filoni, because they're the ones that sort of take the reins. So I mean, the creative differences I'm pretty sure are what happened, because they're trusting them with the keys to the castle, and any movie that they decide to make has to be kind of led by them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it could fit in the grand scheme of things. So maybe that's why they're not being made, but still.
Yeah, probably. Kevin Feige's, I don't know. Patty Jenkins, Rogue Squadron. I think that's because of Patty Jenkins, because of what happened with her in the past few months. And I think with Kathleen Kennedy greenlighting all these movies, hoping to get, people to bite. I think Rogue Squadron wasn't something that a lot of people were looking forward to. And I just think that one was shelved and left there and basically was going to get swept under the rug. Like, eventually, people were going to ask and they were going to be like, oh, that's been stopped for a while. So I kind of felt like Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron was going to do that. Kevin Feige's kind of felt like that one was actually going to happen. I wasn't really excited for it, but I was like, okay, well, kind of like you, kind of just want a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean?
Do.
That's all I want. I just want a Star Wars movie. So I think it was a slew of things. I'm hoping now that Kathleen Kennedy is rumored to be leaving this year, sometime before Dial of Destiny or after, that when all this shit happens, we'll be able to walk away from her. Hopefully, Filoni and Favreau take over, and we get good Star Wars content from here on out.
Honestly, yeah, for sure. I need them to come up with something, dude. Something.
I've been waiting so long. So, like I said, all this news from Daredevil wound up coming out, hearing all these things about, the canceled movies, right on top of a lawsuit that is happening, quote unquote, egregious axing of producer Karen McCarthy from The Alkalite. So what's going on with McCarthy is basically she was supposed to work on The Alkalite, but then she was also being approached by Apple for a Colin Farrell led PI series. She was kind of in limbo for both shows. She kind of worked on both of them to kind of, audition, let you know like what we got or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Supposedly Disney wound up employing her, did not pay her for anything that she did, but then wound up saying, no, we're not going to work with you. And so it made her miss out on the Apple series. So it was kind of a messy situation. There's a lot more to kind of go over. There's a lot more jargon on this article that, you can look up. It's on Deadline for anybody that wants to, kind of look into it a little bit more. Basically getting employed by Disney. Basically getting, a check saying, hey, or not even getting a check, but basically promising, saying, "Hey, we're gonna keep you on. You know, I know you're kind of tied between the two projects, but stay here. We'll get you paid. Have you work for a little bit. Turns out, you know what? No, we're gonna go a different direction. Lets him go. Shows no money for it. What's up with that? Disney
Man.
doing some people dirty?
Oh man, what is up with these companies and just not giving credit where credit is due and not paying people correctly? Like Marvel with their CGI workers, Disney with this producer chick, WB and not letting people finish their visions. Like, why can't y'all just let people do what you paid them to do without ripping them off? That's so dumb, dude. That's so fucked.
How do you think the rich stay rich? You think they just give money away?
It's not about giving money away. If they work for the company, you have to pay them. That's legal shit. If you don't pay them, that's kind of fucked up and illegal. So, I mean, especially if you go and use their shit. That's like WB using Zack Snyder's Justice League clips to promote the Justice League without having Zack Snyder's Justice League elements in the movie. Like, that is so beyond fucked. You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly what, like I said, the rumor that happened over there at Marvel, where Edgar Wright was first supposed to direct and write the first Ant-Man movie. Disney wound up having creative differences. They parted ways. Supposedly, they didn't use any of his vision, but Ant-Man till this day is considered the best Ant-Man movie, the first Ant-Man. Supposedly there was, but Disney denies like always. But at the end of the day, business is gonna be business. These people, I mean, hopefully she gets her bag, and obviously they're gonna settle before this gets too crazy. I mean, like I said, they put all these articles up in front of this. They put the whole Daredevil thing, and they put all these announcements. There was some of the bad announcements that were hoping to distract you from the fact that Disney's doing a big no-no behind the scenes. So,
Of course.
I mean, the dirt's there. The dirt's there. The tea is there. The evidence is there. It's crazy. But another little tidbit that is going around, at least from Disney and Marvel, is that James Spader might be coming back for Armor Wars. Coming back as Ultron for Armor Wars. Wound up playing him in 2014's Age of Ultron. I like James Spader in the Ultron role. I know a lot of people give Age of Ultron a lot of slack. I actually enjoyed the movie. I wasn't one of them who hated it. I really can't find the hate for that movie. I don't understand. But maybe a little bit of CGI, maybe. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad to see James Spader come back in this role.
Nah, I mean, yeah, he does a good Ultron. I liked his portrayal. I don't know how he'd come back though in Armor Wars unless some fuckery goes on and he's still alive. But nah, I don't see it happening. Or unless they make it make sense.
What if? Now hear me out. Theory time. What if they took? Remember, they took Vision's body, right? They took his body. What if, at the end of Age of Ultron, that same company had taken Ultron's pieces, basically was able to put them back together, and from there it just wreaks havoc, obviously. But the same company that was ripping Vision apart in WandaVision. What was it? AIM?
No, it wasn't AIM. It was Sword.
Sword. There you go.
Sword is supposed to be the quote unquote good guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if anyone were to do this, it would try to be Hammer, especially if it's Armor Wars and he does come back. I could see them doing it that route. But how do you stop him again? You know what I mean? Without Avengers, and this is supposed to be a different kind of story. I think shoving him in might be a little too much.
Well, we don't have a lot on. Well, we don't know what's going on too much with Armor Wars, so I mean, maybe he could fit somewhere in there.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I know I know Captain America 4 is fucking bloated. That one's bloated. I don't know if Armor Wars is going to be bloated. I mean, it went from a TV show to a movie. So if it was planning to be bloated, it should have probably stayed a series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. James Spader, rumored. So, rumor, like I said. We'll see what happens with him. Somebody who does not give a fuck about Marvel, Nicolas Cage. He was basically asked if he would be in the MCU, and he basically said, "I don't need to be in the MCU. I'm Nick Cage."
Oh man.
And I'm like, everybody wants to be in the MCU though. You can't really say that. I mean, he goes on even further, basically, says Stan Lee was the one who named him, because of Luke Cage or whatever, that he has nothing against them. But it's just not for him. That Marvel movies are basically not his thing. But my thing is that you did Ghost Rider.
He did. A long time ago. He did. And I mean, yeah, he doesn't need the MCU right now. He's Nick Cage, and he still brings in money, and he does all this and that. So, I mean, to stick him in the MCU would be kind of weird. Unless he plays like an older Ghost Rider or a variant of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Maybe. But, I mean, to say all that, bro, I love these actors and their egos sometimes. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, because that has to chalk up to just being ego. I mean, come on, Nick Cage. You cannot tell me, look me dead in the eye and be like, if Marvel offers you a fat check to come back as Ghost Rider, that you're not going to be in one of those MCU movies. Secret Wars?
He'd be back, bro.
He'd be back. Everybody be back.
Same with Qui-Gon Jinn, and oh no, it dilutes the shit of the magic of Star Wars. Okay, but you were in Obi-Wan for like 2 seconds, and then who else? Harrison Ford, Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Like, their egos make me laugh sometimes because you contradict yourself all the time if the money's right.
It's true. Nicolas Cage is a star. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He's probably one of those unobtainable actors like Tom Cruise. At one point, a few years ago, probably not. I think he really started making his comeback again now. He was doing a lot of straight-to-video movies for a while. I think he started making his comeback with this movie that he did with Pedro Pascal. What was it called?
I can't remember. I did hear it was good, though.
Yeah, I still need to watch it, but I heard it was good, too. So I heard that he's coming back with that one, and, he's been in a few more movies. He's coming up with that Nicholas Hoult vampire movie,
the vampire one.
Renfield, and I know he has a couple other ones up his sleeve. So he's a ticket right now, and he's been around for so long. It's not like getting. I mean, they're lucky that they got Harrison Ford, to be honest.
For real, he's a bigger dude with an ego than Nick Cage is. So yeah. I mean,
if they could pull somebody like him, I don't know how much Nick Cage can resist. If you know,
he said, "I don't need to be in the MCU. I'm Nick Cage." Come on, dog. We know damn well.
I mean, Nick Cage was in a Ghost Rider film, played the star. 2 movies. Mm-hmm. One where your backstory was fucked up and you became a totally different Ghost Rider. I don't know. So you could be perceived as a multiversal variant. I don't know. Nicolas Cage, get over it. It's okay. Still a fan, obviously. Moving on to our last topic. Seth Rogen basically talking about how people like us can hurt people's feelings. Well, not like us, obviously, we're kind of small, but critics themselves. He says in this quote, I think if most critics knew how much it hurts the people that made the things that they're writing about, that they would second guess the way they write these things. It's devastating. I know people who have never recovered from it. Honestly, a year, decades of being hurt by film reviews. It's very personal. It is devastating when you are being institutionally told that your personal expressions was bad, and that's something that people carry with them literally their entire lives, and I get why it fucking sucks.
Well, yes, critics can be harsh and they can totally ruin people's feelings, but at the same time, you're putting out garbage, buddy. I think eventually the critics are gonna have to call you on your shit just to be like, hey, this one wasn't that good, so we'll have to wait and see. And then maybe this was the one that kind of lights the fire into you, and you're like, well, they didn't like my last one, I'm gonna do a good one, you know? Like Adam Sandler, people were like, oh, he can't do serious roles and this and that. So then he hit him with the hidden gem, and then he was in that basketball one hustle that I told you about. Uncut Gems. So I mean, like, a lot of it is, yeah, it can hurt your feelings, and granted, critics don't have to be that harsh, but at the same time, if you're putting out garbage, they're gonna call you out on it.
Yeah, honestly, and there's no other way to put it. Yes, they could be careful with the words that they say, but is sugarcoating it for anybody gonna do anything? You know what I mean? Like, you can't live like if our podcast fucking sucks, tell us so we can improve. You know what I mean? If anything that we do sucks, tell us so we can improve.
Yeah.
It's not a, oh, fuck you or whatever. I mean, internet trolls, those could probably hurt your feelings. Those are just randoms just shitting on your life for no reason. Critics are paid. If you know, critics are literally paid to review your stuff. They're literally paid to tell you whether you did a good job or not.
Exactly.
And if you didn't do a good job, you should be able to take it on the chin like a champ and be like, you know what? It wasn't a good product. I can see that now. Yes, it was my art. Yes, but it was rejected. It was rejected art. It was something that I put my pride into. I got to hold on to my pride and just give them something better, something that they'll appreciate. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, what's going on with Ant-Man and the Wasp? Quantumania. Not many people like it. Some people do. If you're in that minority, great, but most people don't. The director, what he's saying about it, he's like, oh, I feel bad or whatever, because, whatever. And then MODOK, the actor that's talking shit about himself. Like, yeah, the critics are going to point that out. If Kang is your only aspect of liking the film, then it's clearly not. It's a lot of your writing and a lot less about the actors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the critics have a right to call them out like that. It's their job. They get paid for that. They're not gonna be like, like, how I critique movies sometimes. Where I'm like, well, this wasn't that good, but they really tried their best with this and that. No, they're gonna be like, no, that shit was ass. Never do it again. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you want to be fair, too. I mean, I'm not like fair to you, but fair to what he's saying is that, like, Marvel movies, there was a time where they didn't get no Rotten Tomatoes, and everybody was like, oh, critics are just being nice. Critics are just being nice. Even when they started putting out stinkers in Phase 4, they were still saying, oh, critics are just being nice. Critics are, you know what I mean? They would have been worse for a DC movie, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But now look at Marvel. They're getting shitted on by the fans and being praised by the critics. And now the critics are kind of catching up and being like, well, we don't have to, be nice to them anymore, right? Because they're not the big franchise juggernauts that they were. It's the same. It's just at a smaller scale for smaller movies. Obviously, if you're putting out different things, and not necessarily a franchise, if you put out one project and it doesn't do good, what if critics praise it, but everybody in the general audiences are just like, this is a shitty movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what if the general audiences picks it up, like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but then critics say, nah. It's just those kinds of things. I mean, critics are literally, I'm going to say it again. Critics are literally paid to critique you. If you cannot handle those words, then you need to step back and rethink your profession, because you're in the public eye. You're going to, if you want to be yelled at about your bad work behind closed doors, get a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? Go to a regular construction site, get yelled at in an office by your boss, and improve from there. But if you're in the public eye putting out these projects, you got critics watching you, you got general audiences watching you, got everybody trying to see whether or not this product is going to be good. Take it on the chin if it's not good.
Yeah. Like, it's funny that it's coming from Seth Rogen, because he always feels like he's like the heart of the people, the heart of Hollywood. You know, he feels genuine. You know, in what he makes, and you know, things like that. Granted, some of his shit is very like pop movies and stuff, but you know, that feels more of like a human perspective. We get high, we do dumb shit when we're high, this and that. But like he's always been that dude, and for him to come out and say this, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, from a certain point of view, it makes sense. Like, yeah, be more sentimental, be more human, be more whatever about it. But at the same time, they have a job to do, and it isn't about so much about disrespecting you as a person. It's disrespecting that the work that they think that you can be better on and need improvement.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be looked at as disrespect, because it's not disrespect. Now, if you're purposefully, now if a critic's purposely out there shitting on every single project that you do because you're just Seth Rogen, then that is disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because you're not even giving the art a chance. But I don't think it's disrespect to, if you give me a bowl of food, Josh, and you cooked it, and I take a bite and I say, oh, this shit's not good. You don't know how to cook. It sounds harsh, obviously, but at the end of the day, are you going to take it as, man, I don't know how to cook, I'm never going to cook again? Or are you going to be like, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, try better and make it a little bit saucier and, you know, make this or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. Take the criticism on the chin and keep pushing, you know?
And that's what I mean. That's what I was saying. Like it isn't disrespect to him. Like if the movie comes out or whatever, again, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and, you know, the director's like, oh, like they just don't like me. Like I put whatever I could in this thing, and, you know, but no, he saw the critics and we're like, you know what, yeah, I'll do better, and this and that, whatever he was saying in those articles that we talked about. Like he is clearly taking it on the chin and whatnot, and, you know, same thing about what Kang said, or not Kang, I call him Kang, Jesus, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, I know what they're saying, but it doesn't really bother me, this and that. Like, see, he's taking it on the chin, and that's a very celebrity way to take it. Not as much as like Seth Rogen saying, where he's like, they should be more like considerate of their feelings and shit like that.
Well, maybe Seth Rogen is one of us, and he's just a big softy like the rest of us, and just wants, you know, his things to be appreciated.
Yeah.
But sorry, we're gonna have to keep doing this, Seth Rogen. Everybody's gonna have to do it, but people just wanna, you know, we analyze shit. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. But that's gonna be the end of this episode. If there's any topics that we didn't discuss that you felt like we should have discussed on this podcast, anything that you want us to talk about, any movies that you want us to review, or you just want to holler at us and say what's up, or leave us a like and a follow. Josh, let them know where they can do that.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, if you want to hit us up for any news or movies we post when new episodes are out, so go and do that. Follow us, whatever. If you want to listen to us on the go while you're doing whatever you do, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. If you want to support us in a big way, ZippyStream at FilmBros Podcast. All it takes is a name and email. You get our full catalog. You get emails about when new episodes drop. It's a good time. You can also hit us up privately via email for any movies and stuff you want us to talk about or review. And if you want to subscribe to our YouTube, go ahead and do that at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we will talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.